too excited, let me explain something. All right, so there's two versions of this app, okay? This is VisPick Sales Floor, and what we're really talking about is topstock, right? Working topstock. This version is what's in 15 stores today. The version that most of the stores are gonna get is that version that she's showing. That's because VisPick Sales Floor is going into MeApp. And MeApp will be the version that you guys all get, okay? Unless you're like one of these 10 neighborhood markets that we're expanding to. But so the important thing to say is that the core functionality and a lot of the core things are the same in this app. What she's going to show you has some things that, based on your feedback, we included. But let's talk about topstock. So why did we even create this app? So today we do two things really to downstock items. One of them is we visually look and see that we have a hole in the side counter or low on the side counter, and we just take something and bring it down. That's visually downstocking something, right? That's not accurate. We don't want to teach and train like that, but we know it happens sometimes, right? So the other way we do it is we scan a UPC and item information, and we wait for that beep, right? And item information will beep, and then you know you get a downstock signal. That's better because it's more accurate, but it's not very fast. You have to scan every single UPC and wait for that beep, right? So VisPick Sales Floor was created to increase the accuracy and the speed that an associate can have with identifying items on topstock that need to come down. The other thing we did, and this is really important, is we said, wouldn't it be nice if we could assign all of these items in this section to that section number in the system? What would that unlock for us, right? All right, I'll get to that. One of the things that you need to know up front is that VisPick Sales Floor has a core logic of if my on-hands are equal or less than my shelf cap, or I have had a nil pick or an out, I'm gonna give you a downstock signal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, the usage of the app is pretty easy and it's not much different from that one. So I'm gonna go through it. Basically, all you gotta do is find the zone that you're in, right? Then you press the aisle. When you start scanning, here's what you'll see. So basically it starts giving you signals, and the white overlays, this is augmented reality overlays. The white overlays mean that you don't have to worry about that item. The blue overlay means that that item is gonna get added to the pick list. So I already have that first one added to my pick list. Also, very important, you've got to scan those section labels. So you see how I scan that section label and it highlighted white? Every item I scan now is assigned to that section. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so then we continue scanning, right? And as we go, it's gonna add more items to the list. Wow, my box is froze, I think. Yeah. It's adding items, but my box is froze. Let me try it again. There we go. All right.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's actually faster in a real store environment. It's not as fast as I would like it, but it's still faster. All right, so here is the list of items that now need to be downstocked. Now, to be clear, if I was an actual associate, the way I would teach the associate is that as the items get added to the list, take everything off the shelf, put it on the cart, right? Then do the next one. Don't go down the ladder, right? Do the next one until you're done with the 4-foot section. So at the end of it though, when I'm done, then I can come down the ladder and I can start filling my spots, right? So some key things to understand is that we give the associate a lot more information in this app. What you see here is that we give you a little picture, we give you the item description, UPC, plus we give you the size, but we also give you the exact location on the side counter that you need to stock that item, but we give you multiple side counter locations as well. We don't do features because we don't want to stock the features, okay? We're focused on the side counters. Fill the side counters first, right? That's where we're focused. So, at this point in the app, well, let's assume that an associate is stocking and they've been able to stock everything. All they have to do is press stocked all, but it's really important to press that. Why? Because that's going to take that item out of that section, okay? If if they, let's say that they brought down 5 and they filled 2 and they put 3 back up, they have to press top stock remaining. Now, the reason that's important is because we're gonna send 3 signals out systematically. One is gonna go to ISA. ISA is gonna get an in-stock signal for that item, okay? The second one's gonna go to GIF and OPD. GIF and OPD are gonna receive a signal that that item was scanned. They're gonna know what time, what date, who scanned it. They're gonna know the aisle and the section. So we're gonna get OPD within 4-foot section for that item. The third thing we're gonna do is we're gonna send a signal to item information. In your historical view in item information, you're gonna be able to see that that item was scanned. Basically everything we sent to GIF is what's gonna show up in item information as well. And you can imagine if you're like walking with a customer and you see that item that was scanned like 20 minutes ago on topstock, you can just go over there and try to help them out with that item, right? So those are the 3, key signals that we're gonna send out. So it's really important that we stress to associates that you gotta press these buttons. We don't make them press these buttons. They have to press them on their own, okay? And that's the data that will be sent based off of them pressing those buttons. Okay, so at the end of it, we assume that they've worked every section, right? At the end, they're gonna go ahead and press done working aisle, and then on this screen, it would show a done working aisle. I'm not gonna do it because I'm demoing this again, but it would show it there. Now, one of the things that associates, I want to emphasize that associates have given us feedback on this app multiple times. And one of the things that they asked for, they said, hey, a lot's going on in our stores and we need the ability to toggle these aisles on and off. So let's say you had a fire or you had a, maybe a remodel or whatever. This is what you can do at store level. You can toggle your aisles on and off. So what does it mean if I toggle an aisle off? It's no longer going to show on the home page of the app, so an associate can't click into it and work it. The second thing it does is it's not going to be included in your metrics. So you take that aisle completely off of all your metrics. So why is that important? Because like I said, if you have a fire or if you have something that's going on at store level, nobody else is going to know. You're going to need to toggle it on or off, okay? But we give that power to you, and that's what you guys asked for. So the other thing... So, an associate came up to me and he was like, I was in a store and he's like, hey, you got the Vispic sales floor, right? And I was like, yeah. He said, come work with me on Vispic sales floor when you got time. So we started in the morning and I worked with him on the aisles. And he said, you see my phone's 100% battery charged, right? He said, let's work this. In 1 hour, 50% of that battery was drained. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's not good. Like, he's like, yeah, I can't use it like this. It's not gonna work. And I said, okay, let me go to Samsung and ask them what's going on. Well, we figured out that the camera was being left open on the phone. You saw me set it down, right? The associates are just setting it down with an open camera the whole time they're stocking or helping a customer, and it was draining the battery. Well, the camera pauses on its own after 30 seconds. So you set it down, it pauses, all you gotta do is pick it back up, tap the screen, and it opens back up again. Every time I set it down, 30 seconds, it's gonna pause the camera again. So we saw like a 75% reduction in the battery losing charge doing that. That's a pretty simple fix, right? But I was listening, we listened, Suzanne and me, we both listened to the associates and we said we gotta fix that. So I encourage you to go over to Suzanne and see the app in Me app because there's some other things that we fixed that are helpful as well.
Okay, so the priority that I saw on the